Okay, so hello there, folks. It's been a little while. I do apologise with moving around everything, but I've just got this in, and I absolutely had to very quickly do a review. So as we all know, I'm a big fan of these kits. So we have Eduard's brand new Royal Class MIG-21MF in 1/72nd scale. It's a dual combo kit, so there should be two in there. Let's hope so. And let's take a look. So outside of the box is the usual very nice looking job. On the outside here, it's kit number 2018, would you believe? Sorry, no, it's not. 2018, kit number is R0017. Do apologise. We've got some of the markings on the side there. And on the opposite side there, we've got some of the nicer bits that we should find in there. Resin parts and so on. A 3 size print this time around, so slightly smaller. You may notice the whole box is actually smaller than normal. So again, I'm used to seeing these Royal Class boxes, these huge chunky things with like loads of stuff in, and this is about half the size of most of your Royal Class kits. So we have an idea. This was the previous one, the 1/48th Focke-Wulf. This box is literally twice this, 2 or 3 times the size of this. This is only a little thing in comparison. So it's kind of cute. I like it. So let's get on with it. Open the box and let's see what we've got. So, say dual combo, so we should have 2 in here. Let's open her up. Have I got my ears? Right, so let's take a look. See, we're going down either. So, as always, came from my usual supplier, MGR Hobbies. Go and see old Mike Jolly. We got instructions. We'll take a look at those in a second. Okay, so we have the new version of the beer game, the sticker game, 2018. I'm not even going to attempt to explain that one. You'd have to pop on Eduard's site and take a look at that. We've got some Decals here. That's the sticker of the sticker game. Etch, mask, resin, clear parts. This is the much smaller than normal art print, so we'll start with that, I think, because I do love these things. We have this stunning artwork just there of Lieutenant Sadiq of the Iraqi Air Force versus Iran. I'm not too sure. Again, on the outside it does tell us the artist, and I'm fairly sure I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to attempt to try and butcher it. But I'd find somewhere nice to put that. Again, a little bit smaller than the other previous ones, so I'll be able to. No, let's take a 2 of that one. Right, that should be safe. Okay, so we have again more transparencies and all the kit parts in one bag, which, as most of you all know, I'm not a fan of. This is not normal for Eduard. I don't like it. Right, so instructions first then, let's take a look. Put these bits to one side as well, for now, don't make me forget. Okay, so standard size A4 instructions. We got, of course, a big description of the MiG-21, one of the most prolific jets in the world ever, if I'm completely honest. A ridiculous amount of them. I mean, just the MF version, as it says here, they made nearly 1,300 of them, so doesn't even get close to being started. On the outside here we have our usual parts trees. We've got brazing, got photo etch, got masks, a couple of little bits that won't be used for this specific version. As with all of Eduard's kits, be very careful of which markings you're going to go for first. They will make a massive difference to how you continue on. So we're actually starting on what looks like the Nosewheel Bay, which then gets flipped over to start the cockpit, as is traditional. So we've got a lot of etch going on. Again, more options depending on which one you're going for. And then we're actually onto the main wheel bay. Looks like a breakdown very similar to the 1/48 kit. We're going in with the rear nozzle of the jet. Now this can also be rebought again as a resin replacement, as well as can the cockpit. And I believe the air brakes, if you feel like it. Going in again, more parts building up. I think that's the inside of the cockpit. Cockpit going in, the ring going on to make up the front, and nozzle going in. Again, many more options again for specific markings. Don't forget to drill out your holes if you need them. Then actually the wings are going together, mating the main bay in between. Spine going on, so that's quite nice. There will be no nasty seams down there because it's one piece. Canopy parts are starting to go on there. Me personally, I'd probably leave the clear parts off to a little bit later, but we shall see. Tail parts going on. We've got posable flaps there as well, like that. Finishing off the Nosewheel Bay, the air brake section. I think is that the guns? I think that's guns if I remember my MIG-21s correctly. Then again, we've got more options here depending on whether or not you want to use the Brazing Wheels or not. And a little bit of etch going on to dress those up. Little note there, specifically if you're using the rocket launchers on your particular marking. Finishing off the main undercarriage there. That's actually just explaining where exactly it will mate up, so be careful of that one a little bit, but again, follow it closely. You should have no problem. Got the our short takeoff and landing rockets going on, again, if needed for your specific option. And open air brakes there. Again, be careful of the markings. Tiny little details going on just there. And then we're going on to the very complicated looking ejection seat. Now again, this is resin parts with etched brass, so even though it will be tiny in this scale, that should look pretty stunning. Main canopy going on and dressing up the probe on the front. Now this is going to be using some tiny pieces, so it's up to you of course whether or not you keep the original plastic or whether you go on to use the etch, which will be a little bit more in scale, depends how good you are with it. And then we're going into the armament, beautifully detailed here. We've got R13 rockets, R3s, bombs, different sorts of rockets, rocket pods, bombs, you name it. We've got absolutely loads, so again, well worth taking a look across the typical armaments to decide, tanks as well of course, where you want to go from there. Then we've got an explanation of the mask set, which again you got masks for the wheels and the main canopy, and then we're going into the markings, my favourite bit. So we've got many options here. We've got a Czechoslovakian bird here, some nice colourful parts that we used for training exercises. Many options there. Again, just note this one says stencils blue variant. We've got more than one different choice here. So we've got Bulgaria, nice camouflage scheme with the black stencils. We've got Soviet Union one in 1979 with the blue. We have Angola, which is pretty cool with the little flag on the tail there from 76. We've got Iraqi, so I do believe this one is the one that's in the big A3 print. We've got this wonderfully colourful one here from Egypt. Now I will be honest, I've taken a very quick sneak inside the box of this. So when it comes to decals, okay, these orange parts are masked off and painted orange, okay, including the spine. Please note, it doesn't look like the sides are on this, but it does look like the sides of the black are on the sides, because it's literally right the way around. It's wrapped around, so you won't see it from the top. But the black lines are all decals. So as long as you do your measuring correctly and paint up your orange parts, then the black decals will go on around the edges to line it off. So that's a pretty cool one. I quite like that one. It's a little bit different. And no stencils at all. Oops, sorry, no stencils at all. We've got a lovely one from East Germany in 1990, so literally just before everything changed. The MIG-21 was very, very popular in East Germany, but literally the minute that war came down, they started being phased out of service, and we started seeing much, much nicer things coming in from West Germany instead. We've got this wonderful one from India, which some of you may have seen in previous boxings before, with these are special identification dots all over. Nice little one from Slovakia. Nice simple metal finish for us. Super fine silver. So we can all practice that in 1993. It's a pretty cool one from here from our Czech Republic in the darker colours. This one here from Poland, and yes, you are right, this is gold. I've seen the real thing. It's actually at the museum in Krakow, and it's more of a sort of dark coppery colour. Again, if you Google the, there's many, many pictures online. It's, if I can find my metallics, which I bet you I can't at this point, it's more this colour. Okay, that's Tammy's XF34. But again, take a look at your references. And then finally, last one here from Libya. Nice, smart looking one here in his double greys from 2017. Yeah, still running. Then we've got everyone's favourite part, many stencils. I'm joking, of course. I'm doing a Phantom right now. I hate them. But there we go. And remember, this is in 1/72 as well, so this is going to be smaller than normal. All your weapon stencils, full stencils again for the entire aircraft, sides, back, you name it. So, you know, if you really feel like spending 6 months of your life stenciling, right there. Okay, so we'll look at the smaller bits straight away, because I've got them right here. So, decals are printed by Cartograph. Again, I'm not actually going to bother getting them out. But again, you've got 2 sheets of stencils, which, as normal, look utterly stunning. And then we've got the main R1s. Actually, no, I will. I'll be good. I'll take them out. So you can really see the quality. But, I mean, again, these are usually printed by Cartograph, so I don't usually have an issue with them at all. The only issue I've ever had with Eduard decals is sometimes they do like to sit straight down and not come off. So these as normal, slightly glossy, about the right thickness. Everything's in register, everything looks beautiful. Again, we've got the markings for the, was it the Angolan one with the tail? That's pretty cool. The blobs for the Indian one, so you don't have to worry about masking loads of circles. And as I said, the black lines for the Egyptian, wasn't it? There we go. Those are pretty beautiful, as I was expecting. I'll put that to one side. Okay, mask set obviously speaks for itself. Again, that's in the instructions. I'm a massive fan, especially when you start getting to smaller scales like this. Right, resin parts. So let's have a quick look. I can't imagine these are going to be too ridiculous, but so we've got everything from seats, we've got nose wheels and main wheels. So if I can get this to, there we go, that's looking pretty stunning, even at this tiny little scale. We've got, you know, manufacturer's marks on the tyres, loads of details in the brake there. I mean, these are literally tiny as well. I don't think I've got a coin on me. For those who can appreciate such a thing. But that's a British 2p piece. Now it's about the same size as a quarter for those in America. And that gives you an idea of what you're looking at. It's absolutely tiny. I imagine these are all the same. They do look it. Yep, they all look stunning. Yep, nose wheel. So that too has some nice little details on. Trying to get the camera to focus, there we go. Looking good. And of course the seat, so this is, yeah, especially this scale, utterly stunning. You see the detail from the back piece there. I'm bringing the wheel load of etch going on this as well. Yeah, all the way around. Everything on the back there. I mean, especially considering most of that on the back is going to be covered. It's absolutely stunning. Again, I have seen where 1/48 and even bigger not looking anywhere near that good. Very careful putting these back in. Considering, as I say, I don't really like one bagging stuff, and here they are just pouring it in. Okay. Yeah, it speaks for itself, if I'm completely honest. We've got two packs of Brazing straps there. Just there and there, they'll look pretty awesome. Looks like some little details for the ejection handles as well. And then we've got, of course, the instrument panels, etc. on this one. So I've got two of those. Please note they're both the infamous Russian green. Okay, so you might want to look at our options there for matching up those colours. I know MRP do a lovely lacquer, which I can heartily recommend. Or if you can get hold of them, he says, this company, ACAN. Now they are actually out from Eastern Europe, so they really are spot on. A little bit pricey to lay your hands on, but those are acrylics if you prefer, you know, not to go down the down that route. Now, I'm not too sure whether to open this or not, but this is the infamous sticker of the new sticker game, as opposed to the old beer coaster game that you used to do. So if I can get this out without, what have we actually got here? Okay, so we've got, I'm not quite sure why, but we have two massive Donald Ducks. Some lovely pieces there for some of the different pieces they do, and that I assume which is actually to go on the main sheet. Okay, again, I'm not even going to attempt to try and explain that one. You can pop online and figure that out. So we have okay, we have our clear parts, and one of them's been knocked off. Right, nice and slowly, come on. Trying not to damage it even further. Come on, guys, give me a bigger bag. Okay, so what have we actually got here? So we've got the nose part there, which actually doesn't look damaged from what's happened, but she's beautifully clear, beautifully moulded. We've even got some little, I don't know if you can see it there, but we've even got some rivets going around the edges there of the front windscreen. So she's looking pretty good. What's that? Is that just flash? I think that's just a moulding piece, but and then we've got the others there. So that one's been knocked as well. So thankfully I can't see any scratches or anything there. We've got choices for instrument panels again. So again, you can do different ones, and instrument lights there. So apart from the one getting knocked off, that I'm pretty impressed with. I'm going to put that to one side. I'm going to rewrap that one later on. And then you've got this one here, which hasn't been damaged, but is separate there. So that's your secondary one. Right. Onward. Now again, I'm going to be careful. I don't like one bag stuff. Eduard normally better than this. They normally separately bag everything, but I guess because this is 1/72, they thought they could get away with it. Naughty boys. Yep, things have been knocked off. So what have we got here? Always keep your bags, folks. You never know what they might find. Okay, so let's pop that to one side. So, flash, and what looks like a undercarriage door. I'll put it to one side. Right then, okay, so I'm going to turn this over because I want to start with the bigger parts first. Those are the cool ones. Ah, more pieces being knocked off. This is good. Got a tail here. I think it's one of the horizontal ones. That's pretty cool. And we have what looks at the very end of, no, it's part of the inside, I think, of the exhaust. Okay, so bigger parts first. Yeah, right, so first of all, got a piece here with fuselage halves underneath, which looks typically stunning. Again, to give you an approximate idea, this is 1/72, so the approximate sizes you're going to be looking at here. This is the main part, of course, without the nose or anything on, but this whole sprue, which probably gives you an idea of the approximate actual length of the aircraft, is about 19 centimeters or 7.5 inches. So about like half the size again of a MiG-15, if you got that one there before. But yeah, absolutely loving the detail on here again. Don't know if you can catch that. If it will focus, come on now. Keeps coming in and out. There we go. Got some lovely focus there on the back. On the root detail there. Some upper wing. Stop focusing on the back. There we go. And on this one here. And this is the main tail with the spine. So again, lovely chunky bits and panels and stuff. I do love Russian stuff for some of this. So that's pretty cool. Liking that. Let's put it there. We've got what appears to be a matching sprue. So that'll be for the other one. On the opposite side, by the way, I'm not seeing anything really that could be a problem with injection. Most of these are out the way. There is a couple of larger ones. That one might get in the way, so you might need to I'll clear that one down. The rest of it again fine. We've got some detail here for the inside of the undercarriage there. Most of the ejection marks are off the actual parts, as is usually Eduard's way. Very, very nice. We've then got one of the weapon sprues. Again, we've seen some nice detail in places. Even some of these pylons have their own little dots and rivets and etch things. We've got parts for rockets, etc. These tiny little R3 missiles here. Again, you can see from my nail there, or again if I use the full detail of the coin there, you can see that is looking lovely detailed for the size. Tiny little things, loving them. And again on the opposite side, again nothing that will cause any concern whatsoever. Some wonderful little detail parts there. I wonder what they're for, just little spikes there on the end there. And again, I think that's a matching one just there. So a secondary one. We've then got smaller parts, so we now have more things knocked off. So we've got details for the inside of the undercarriage bay and the air brakes. Smaller details for the inside for the guns, the wheels if you prefer not to use resin, more undercarriage, the ejection seat if you prefer not to use resin, and again the instrument panels. It's alright. Which, by the way, again, if you prefer to paint, I think they'll be absolutely beautiful. Tiny, but beautiful. Undercarriage legs as well, and some of the smaller vents. And again on the other side there, and of course the eponymous pointy nose. The exhaust there's looking pretty damn good, actually, considering this is just the injection molded version, even with the idea of the burner ring. Liking that, liking that. To put that safely. Okay, and we do have more parts knocked off. Seriously. What would appear to be the small bride. I don't think it is, because we've got bits for. No, I think it is. We've got the main part there I missed last time around. And we do have some ejection marks there, so I think most of those will be covered by other parts, but be worth looking into. Okay. Right, look at the detail on the wheel there, even though, as I say, this is just the injection molded one, rather than the resin. Some teeny tiny parts here. Okay. Right. Well. I think one of the biggest things to note with this kit, being serious, some final notes. 1/72 is not normally my scale, not these days anyway. Moved on from that from when I was a kid, moved up to 1/48, and I much prefer it with my eyes, quite frankly. But this is another one of these more recent kits that just proves exactly how fantastic 1/72 can be. The level of detail in this kit realistically is up there with a lot of much bigger 1/48 or more kits. Again, if you go back and look at my review of the Sound of Silence kit, which is their 1/48 MiG-21, I can't see any difference at all in the level of detail by shrinking it down to 2/3 the size. I am annoyed by the kit parts being single bagged. I think this was the perfect example to prove exactly why you shouldn't do it. Usually Eduard are much better at that sort of thing, and it does disappoint me. As you can see, many parts were knocked off. Thankfully, none of them seem to be damaged, but that's not the point. I mean, I've literally got a collection of parts up here at the top which have been knocked off and could easily have gone missing or otherwise been damaged. So I'm happy enough that they weren't. To be honest, if they just simply single bagged the sprues, I think would be happy as Larry. Again, there are some options as well you can pick up outside if you want to do some more of the markings. There's Overtree's options as well for this kit. So if you want to do more than just the two that are in the box. And as I say, there are some aftermarket for both the weapon sets, the undercarriage, the cockpit, the rear exhaust, and the air brakes. But to be honest, especially at this scale, apart from maybe the air brakes, if you really wanted to go for it, I really don't see the point. The level of detail in this kit, 1/72, is absolutely crazy. And again, hats off to Eduard for generally a quality product. As saying, if in later boxes they just single bag the sprues, I think we would have a top tier AAA kit. So yeah, if you get a chance to pick one up, especially if 1/72 is your scale. If it's not, don't shy away from it. It might be an opportunity to get you back into doing things at a smaller scale. So until next time, though, like, share, please comment. I know a couple of people do regularly, but if more people could give you a better idea of what they want to see or what they want to hear in future reviews or videos, then hit me up. Until then, take care. And if you see one of these in your local hobby shop, just from your local supplier, grab it. It looks awesome. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.